Hello, everyone. My name is Elnara Mamadova. I'm a doctoral candidate at Purdue University, and today I will talk about onboarding new HyFlex instructors, a case study that we conducted here at Purdue with time series analysis. So I want to start with the version of HyFlex we adopted at Purdue University, and we name it as an interactive synchronous HyFlex. So we name it as an interactive synchronous also like because of its emphasis on real-time collaboration during the sessions. Like students come to the class with the expectation that they will work in a blended group, like with remote and in-person students together. And the student interaction is critical point in our course because students they work in small groups to develop solutions to real world problems. And the majority of students they are first year students from engineering department. Uh, Several flexibilities are built in our instructions. First, autonomy in attendance, face-to-face or virtually. They have options in discussions. Since Microsoft Teams is the main tool to deliver this course, they can either express themselves verbally or type in the Teams chat, and they have options in communicating with their peers and instructors either through email or Teams chat again. They have autonomy in deciding a topic for a course project, and they submit their complete their assignment in a different way, like either they can draw or can write or type on computer, whatever convenient for them. And also they can access to digital course materials and class recordings. The last but not least, they have access to live closed captions during the session, and they can access to transcripts after the class. So these are the kind of pictures. I just wanted to show how it looks like. As you see on the right side, the pictures, there are four people, they joined remotely, and on the left side is like the one remote and in-person students, they work in a small group. Um, so we were interested in experiences of new teachers who start teaching in HyFlex environment. And we discovered that few studies, they actually investigated instructors' teaching experiences. And based primarily on single interviews and surveys, researchers have concluded that although HyFlex increase instructors' self-efficiency, but they have faced challenges like navigating technology while teaching, engaging remote students, and assessing students' performance. So as this HyFlex kind of new to many instructors, in our study, we looked into across entire semester to understand how the new instructors' perceptions, challenges, and strategies evolved over the time. As a theoretical framework, we use technological, pedagogical, content knowledge, TPAC. It has four domains. First, focus on content knowledge, subject matter understanding, pedagogical knowledge, which focus on method and processes of teaching and learning, technological knowledge, focus on proficiency in using educational technologies. And recently, authors, they updated their framework by revising the contextual knowledge, which focus on knowledge about the educational environment. So our first research question looked into how new instructors they describe their experiences and HyFlex teaching strategies and how they need to adapt their teaching practices to HyFlex settings. So to address this question, we collected data through reflective journaling. Every week, like over the 10 week, every week, instructors, they answered five set of questions based on their experiences. And once the instructors finalized their weekly reflective journals, the faculty coordinator, he met them for an hour-long focus group interviews. And during that interview, he posed exploratory questions to deepen the understanding of instructors' reflections and experiences they documented in their journals. And to analyze this data, we use emergent coding. The second research question looked into frequency of teaching strategies they discussed, like the new instructors discussed over the semester. For this research question, we used time series analysis, which focused on proportion of each theme theme across the semester. And we interviewed instructors starting from early September until early, I would say, mid December, so almost for 4 months. There were two instructors, and their names are nicknames, not the real names. So Kate was, she was national grad student, had 16-week co-teaching experience in K-12. It was her first time teaching in HyFlex setting. Carlos was international grad student. He taught math and physics in K-12 at middle school, and he taught in HyFlex environment during pandemic in K-12 environment. So for the coding materials, we eventually got 156-page long interview transcripts and 19-page long reflective journal. Each week's interview transcript was paired with the corresponding week's reflective journal. So, data analysis. For emergent themes, there were steps we followed. First, we familiarized ourselves with data. Like I was in charge of coding this data. That's why I listened to audio, I read several times, like the transcripts, sometimes schemed, used open coding to generate initial codes, categorize those initial codes to subcodes, and in abstraction level, I revise all initial and subcodes to generate overarching theme. Since the data was coded by a single researcher, we took additional steps to enhance the credibility of the findings. I conducted multiple meetings to facilitate conversation and reach consensus on the accuracy and relevance of each code and theme. Ultimately, all three participants affirmed that the codes, themes, and interpretations, they were accurate and fair, and no further revisions were suggested. The time series analysis, the one portion of that analysis we analyzed qualitatively, but at the same time we were looking the percentage of each theme's occurrency every single week. So to find that percentage, we used text mining from natural language processing. Initially, we cleaned the data to prepare it for analysis, lowercase all text, eliminate non-words, characters, and numbers, removed common words, returned words to their root form, and created a respective theme-specific list of words. And these are the list of words. They were like for 5 themes. I will tell you why 5 themes, because in our overarching themes, we came up with 5 themes, and I will talk about them in detail in a second. So a result of text mining, we found that, like as you see here, the blue line on top, so it represents the theme, the list of words related to integrate technology in teaching. And this was the most frequently talked theme in each week. But the defining HyFlex, this purple line on the bottom, it was the least discussed topic each week. So what they talked about in technology integration in teaching, nearly a quarter of each week's conversations was around this topic. In like ongoing, the most persistent concerns throughout the semester was the task of recording class sessions, which seems a simple action, but the instructors, they kept forgetting that, and their undergraduate teaching assistants reminded them consistently to push that record button. And another ongoing challenge was how to operate the room's audio and video systems. And instructors, they admitted that managing multiple devices was more complicated. Navigating between teams' channels was also another challenge, because instructors, they were not that much familiar with the system, with the tool. So and I need to mention that the Teams was kind of new to instructors and also their students, which caused some kind of technical issues later throughout the semester. Prepare for class. One-fifth of each week's conversation was about this one. Like before the class, instructors they needed to create a plan how to establish collaboration between remote and in-person students, what tools they need to use, like, and they also like needed to create Teams channels before the class, and also they needed to make sure that okay, that all the materials they are shared through teams, not the like through their computer, so the remote students can also see it, and also like they can record in recording. Students can see the all the materials are that's shared during the session. Engage remote and in-person student. Due to difficulties with navigating through the technology booths, instructors they felt challenged about this part. Um, um, but by November, with about 1 month left in the semester, instructors observed that regardless of modality, students started to share a sense of responsibility for their group project. And in December, oh, pardon me, and in December, instructors noted that remote students became more active and answering group questions and contributing to small group work. So the fourth theme is set and communicate expectations and policy. It was slightly less than one-fifth of each week's conversation. Initially it was about like because the students when they enrolled to the course they were notified that course is going to be face to face, but when they came to the class they realized that oh, there is a HyFlex option, they can attend remotely. So that's why the teachers they needed to make clear from the beginning for what a HyFlex is. And once the students started to attend remotely, there was like there's another theme started to generate like whether how should student turn their camera on and off or off, and how remote students should behave, how they what are the expectations from them as a remote students, how they need to contribute to their small group work. So but starting from November, the focus of conversations shifted toward planning for future course implementations based on what they had learned to date. And the instructors emphasized that they needed to explain HyFlex from the early semester because, like earlier in the semester, they focused so much in delivering content that they didn't introduce HyFlex to students. And that's why it created kind of persistent challenges in communicating expectations and policies throughout the semester. The last one, defining HyFlex, it was around 15% of entire discussion per week. Early in the semester, the instructors they primarily focus associated HyFlex with the presence of remote students. Even one of the instructors said that, oh, I didn't have a remote student this week, so I don't have much to evaluate HyFlex approach. But over time, their understanding shifted to focus on the instructional affordances of HyFlex. And instructors begin to highlight features such as class recordings, accessing chat history, group presentations, providing team feedback in Microsoft Team channels. So the conclusions, the predominance of technology-related discussions highlights the need for more substantial support in technological knowledge, particularly mastering instructional content delivery tools and managing multi-device setups. The second is technological pedagogical knowledge because they need to learn how to engage remote students and setting clear expectations. Content knowledge was less focused, but the contextual knowledge, like to understand what the students' prior knowledge and skills are on using Teams, at the same time, instructors themselves, and also understand how to use technology available in the classroom was critical in making HyFlex teaching more smooth. And we also concluded that ongoing professional development rather than one-time orientation should be designed to support this kind of iterative growth into packs throughout the semester. So that's all what I have. So I'm looking forward to your feedback, question, opinion, whatever you have for me. Thank you.